This is the icing of all investments, because here we're contemplating a project where there will be a massive turnaround in the port. The idea is to upgrade it to be a modern facility that is at least one of the best in the Central American region and the Caribbean region.
A public consultation on the feasibility of a proposed cruise tourism terminal in Port Loyola was held on Thursday night in Belize City. The discussion succeeded the resubmission of an environmental impact assessment that has been conducted to determine the effect of such a mammoth undertaking on the marine and terrestrial surroundings of the planned Port of Belize expansion.
One of the components that we haven't looked at very closely in the past, we probably did not stress it enough at the previous meetings we've had, is the cargo port facility. In 2005, when the EIU was produced, most of what was included in the development proposal was about the cruise tourism project. One of the things, and it's very good that I mentioned this, and I want this to stay with you, the cargo port facility was not prominently placed in that project. This project is a better project because it brings up the cargo port facility. That facility, the same facility we talked about, the same one with the trestle and the pier, the same one that can only be used right now at the present time to unload one ship. This project dramatically changes that and improves the cargo facility.
The meeting was an opportunity for proponents of the Waterloo project, including a team of consultants, to engage in an exchange of views and feedback on a proposal that has been presented to the Department of Environment.
As we stand right here, we do not necessarily see a logical or a rational alternative to expanding the Port of Belize. Belize, as a country, is going to need to continue to trade. We must preserve our commercial activity, primarily in the Port Loyola, Belize City districts. The expansion produces, the expansion that we're proposing here potentially produces the least environmentally damaging outcome of any of the alternatives.
To bolster that argument, lead consultant Allan Herrera of Nextera, an environmental and engineering consultancy firm specializing in environmental impact assessments and biodiversity management, points to existing restrictions where cruise tourism is concerned.
Current constraints for cruise tourism: port calls in Belize City rely on tendering from deepwater anchorage. Larger ships are shoreside only berthing vessels. The tendering limits time visitors have to explore Belize and utilize services. Again, an important consideration, because when these people come ashore, they travel all over the country. If they spend more time on shore, they can go farther, and they can subscribe to protected areas. They can visit protected areas that are right now not being visited.
Present at the consultations were representatives for other competing interests, including Port Coral and Port of Magical Belize. The former is responsible for the Stake Bank project, which is being built 2 miles off the coast of Belize City.
There already is a project being completed, Port Coral, here in the next few months. It 100% has a causeway approved and permitted to be built from Port Coral to the Drowned Key development and from Drowned Key to the city. The entire purpose and basis of your project, with needing a land-based approach for guests to disembark Oasis-class ships, and I do agree, it is safer, and come to Belize and enjoy all of the tourism here, already exists, sir. The purpose of your cruise port project has nothing to do with cruise tourism. It has to do with something else. The cargo port has had 15 years in receivership to get upgraded. It's interesting how today is when they choose to do this.
As an activist, Jose Okespat raised the question of a better quality of life being provided to residents of Port Loyola beyond the construction of the cruise terminal itself.
We have had for the past 4 decades promises to these people of a better future with the same politicians in charge of these areas that you speak of. And today, they are still in poverty. So, what makes you any different? How can you guarantee for these young people not just jobs while your project is ongoing, How can you guarantee for our Belizeans long-term sustainability?
In responding to that concern, Dr. Dion Chamberlain of Chamberlain Consulting said the priority where job opportunities are involved will be given to residents of Port Loyola based on qualification and experience.
What we are looking at and what they asked us for was that we could guarantee, because this is a project of national importance and every single part of the country, people will be applying for jobs and entrepreneurial opportunities, that 10% be given to them as a priority. And that means that since you, Mr. Espat, comes from Caribbean shores and a person from Port Loyola comes to apply for a job, if both you and him or her are qualified for that job, that the Port Loyola youth would get it or person would get it over you, despite the fact that you come in on equal footing.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.